Hello and welcome everybody of Game 3 of the GeForce StarCraft 2 Pro-Am Tournament Series between Incredible Miracles MVP and SlayerSMMA. So far in the series, IMMvp is up 2-0, able to take wins off the Incredible Terran SlayerSMMA in both games. And for Game 3 here on Terminus, spawning in the right-hand position, we have, as the Blue Terran, Incredible Miracles MVP. Spawning here on the left side of the map, in that western position as the Red Terran, we have SlayerSMMA. So far we've seen some incredible play from both of these players. MVP so far has been favoring a lot of very heavy Banshee play, from MVP, which served him fairly well in Game 1, despite a rough start with those Banshees. Was able to pick it up a little bit, get a lot of worker kills in Game 1. But in Game 2, he was just able to do really well with Blue Flame Hellions, able to get a lot of worker kills and just cripple the economy of SlayerSMMA. So here in Game 3, we are going to be able to see if MVP is going to be able to continue this trend of dominating this matchup, or whether MMA is going to finally be able to take a win off of MVP. MMA here going to be looking for some revenge. Also, as a side note, I didn't get to mention this, in Game 1, I mentioned it in Game 2, but these are games that are already out there. They are part, again, of the GSPA tournament. That is the GeForce StarCraft 2 Pro-Am tournament. It was cast by Day9 and Husky StarCraft, so they're both out there already. This whole series is out there on YouTube if you care to watch it. By the pros, go check them out. I love those guys. They're so good. Love them so much. Wouldn't dare to try to take views off of them. This was just a series that I didn't watch right when it came out, and so now I was just like, come on, MVP versus MMA. These are two gods of Korean Terran StarCraft 2 play, so I absolutely had to cast these games. I was just too excited not to cast these games once I found the replays for them. So I am going to be casting the whole series. Again, this is Game 3. MVP is currently up 2-0, so MMA going to be looking for revenge here. I'll be so interested to see actually whether MVP is again going to be going for those fast Banshees, or, well actually I think in the last game, I think MMA was actually able to get his Banshees up first. So both of these players kind of going for those quick Banshees, but we are actually seeing a fast command center here from MVP. MVP has not yet managed to scout his opponent, though he is just about to. When he does, he's going to learn that they are cross positions. That is about as far as you can get on this map. They are very far away, so he's going to be happy to know that MMA is all the way on the other side of the map, so he's going to be pretty happy about defending this expansion. All he needs to do now is just control the Xel'Naga Watchtower. As we can see, he is now moving that SCV to that Xel'Naga Watchtower, and now with that map control, he will be able to see any pushes coming. It does take quite a while. I believe it takes about 45 seconds. I could be wrong on that one. I think on this map it takes about 45 seconds to go cross map. Correct me if I'm wrong on that one though. But he will be able to see any pushes coming and know exactly when MMA is moving out. MMA not yet throwing down any command center. It looks like he has gone for that 1-1-1 build. He's mining on 2 gases right now. Starport just now coming up. Looks like he's going to be swapping this Starport to that Tech Lab, so we are going to be seeing some quick Banshee play. Will it be Banshee play with Cloak? We have seen him do that in the previous game. Wasn't able to quite do the damage though. Will he be able to do that damage with that Cloaked Banshee this game? And yes, we do have that Cloak now being researched, now on the way. A little bit of a wall off here from MMA. Going to be able to throw down a bunker there if he needs and defend that position pretty well, since he is going for a little bit more tech. MVP, of course, going for Econ right now, managing to eke out a few Marines, getting a few Marines out on the field right now. Is just now throwing up a second barracks, just now getting that factory thrown down. Also mining currently on 2 gas. But MMA is going to have to come in here and deal some damage if he's going to want to be able to keep up with the economy of MVP. MVP, if we check out the Harvester tab, is currently even, but he's going to start to get way ahead very soon, as he's going to be producing double the number of SCVs of MMA. He's going to be able to get quite well ahead. One drone, or probe, no, hold on, third time's a charm. One SCV getting into the base of MMA, able to scout exactly what was going on, so MVP knows exactly what's coming. He saw that Starport with that Tech Lab add-on, saw that Tech Lab researching, so he's going to know exactly what's coming. And looks like he is going to be well prepared for it, or at least we hope he will be. Yes, he is placing his Marines accordingly, getting ready to defend against any kind of Banshees. One Hellion now moving into the main of MVP. MMA getting a little bit of scouting information there, always good. But the Banshee is now moving across the map. Let's see how much damage MMA is going to be able to deal with this one Banshee. Again, his command center is not yet up, so he is currently falling behind in Econ. If we check out the Harvester tab right now, we can see that it is 29 to 28 MVP, just a tiny smidgen ahead in the worker count right now, but he should start to get a lot more ahead again since he's double producing those SCVs. And what do we have here from MMA? MMA is about to move in, but I should note really quick that he is now going for a very, very fast third expansion. One missile turret is up here. That is going to be able to detect for these Marines, even if it is not able to shoot the Banshee. Missile turrets actually have a larger detection range than they do firing range. So even if this missile turret isn't firing at this Banshee, it will be able to detect at a pretty big radius. This Banshee just barely escaping with the skin of its teeth as this Viking now gives chase. Looks like he might actually be able to pick up, and yes, he gets that one shot off. Nice pick off there by MVP, doing a good job of picking off that one Banshee. Interesting move here, though, from MMA as he was applying that pressure with that Banshee. He was throwing up that command center, and looks like he's just now getting his natural down, so he's going to start to do very, very well in the economy if MVP doesn't scout this and start to deal some damage of his own. One medevac has been loaded up by MMA. It is now moving across the map. Looks like it's going to try to get in there and deal some damage to MVP. In the meantime, in the base of MMA, we do have 3 factories that have now gone down. Again, this barracks not being used at all by MMA. We've seen that a lot in these games. MMA just completely ignoring Marine production, going straight for those Hellions, getting up faster factories, and using all of his minerals to just produce Hellions while he uses the gas to tech. So I kind of like that play from MMA, but it hasn't been serving him that well in the series. 2 Hellions now being dropped off here. They do have that Blue Flame Hellion upgrade, and nice line up there by MMA. Lines up right there, saw all those Marines in a line, put his Hellions in position, was able to take out a lot there, and now these Hellions are now in the main of MVP, getting a few worker kills here, picking up a few worker kills here and there, and it looks like one Hellion does finally go down, the other still getting in there, still getting a lot of very good scouting information, but the siege tank is now here. It is going to be able to clean up that Hellion quite nicely there. 8 workers killed, though, for MMA, so MMA actually in a surprisingly good position. Currently up in the Harvester count. Amazing, 42 to 34. I'm so surprised at that. He is now on 3 base, producing a lot of SCVs there. So he's in a very, very good spot right now. I'm actually surprised he's way up in the food count. 79 food to 66 food right now. He is feeling very, very good about his positions right now. 3rd just now being taken for MVP. In the meantime, MVP finally starting to go for a little bit more Marauder tech. This served him well in Game 1. He did an amazing tech switch there in the late game of Game 1. Was able to, with all of those, wow, nice little landing there by MVP to try to save that one Viking, but actually is getting picked up by those Hellions, and there we go. Now they're going to go try to pick off that one Viking, and yes, the Viking does fall, but all the Marauders for MVP are now moving across the field. As I was saying before, MVP did an amazing tech switch in Game 1, where very late game he saw how stubborn MMA was being with going for these Hellions and for these siege tanks, and said, you know what? Fine, I'm just going to blind counter you pretty much, and built straight up Marauders and Vikings, was able to deal huge amounts of damage to the forces of MMA, completely destroy all of his forces, and take Game 1. So, we can see MVP again going for that style. We can see more Marauders on that production tab, making use of that barracks, now throwing down 3 more barracks, bringing us up to a total of 4 barracks, all with tech labs, except this one, which has a 1 reactor there, but going for very, very heavy Marauder play. Loving that style, since MMA is going very much heavy on that mech style play. Should be able to do very well against that. Well-placed Vikings here by MMA. If we check out all this Viking placement, check out that Viking. That is so good. I am loving that so much. MMA has got Vikings placed all over the map, making sure that no Banshees are going to sneak by. So I'm absolutely loving that. I think that's such good positioning there by MMA. Such good map awareness. MMA looking to take even more map control right now as he is now moving across the field with these 5 siege tanks and a bunch of Blue Flame Hellions. Looks like he is able to catch some damage, but MVP actually catching some of the forces of MMA off guard there, but MMA does have the high ground advantage right now. He is up on that high ground, going to try to hold that Xel'Naga watchtower. And looks like MVP has decided he's just going to go around. And that's what he's going to do. He saw the forces of MMA coming, so he said, you know what, I'm just going to go around. I've got all these Marauders, which are going to do pretty well against your mech forces, so I'm just going to go around. And, ooh, MMA almost getting his medevac in there. But looks like MVP did not actually scout that medevac. That medevac is going to be moving around the map. MMA is in full map control right now. He's got Hellions on all the Xel'Naga watchtowers. I spoke a little bit too soon as MVP just took that one watchtower, but all the rest of the forces of MMA spreading out to take the center of the map. Absolutely love that from MMA. MMA has a lot of siege tanks. I believe in the siege tank count he is up right now 7 to 5.